Hey you guys, it's Peter, and I'm back. Of course I'm back. I'm not going anywhere. Boost! It's like a short fan flip. I'm YouTube famous now. Available in 2018, the album Dad AF. All right, let's get right in this video. So I just watched the Trisha Paytas video. Hi. Hi sisters. And I was, before I started watching it, I was like, uh-oh, I'm really worried. She's sitting on the kitchen floor. She had tweeted out some stuff last night. So if you don't know what you don't know is a lot. Trisha started tweeting out, that's her, she's tweeting right now. Trisha started tweeting, that would be so funny if it was her though, but I doubt it, seriously, no. Trisha tweeted out some stuff last night where she was like apologizing to literally like everybody ever in the world, mostly all of her exes. And it was very interesting, right? And then she said something, it was like, and then she was like emotionally tweeting as well. I have all the tweets, but I was just like, screw it, I'm not throwing it up there. So, you know, sometimes you just have to let a girl be. So anyway, and then she came out and she said something like, bad Trisha, or something like that. And then that's deleted. And so anyway, she's back to just posting about Chuck E. Cheese from Shane's video today. So when I saw this video, I was like, oh, Trisha, don't do this to us, please. Like, some of us are rooting for you right now. Some of us have hung in there through the duration. We want to see you get better. We want to see good things happen to you. We know you're going through a tough time right now. Keep it real, gal, okay? It's 2019. Let's keep it real. So I watched this video, and I have to say, I was really pleasantly surprised and very, very happy for Trisha. This was what I missed about Trisha Paytas. This was a relatable Trisha Paytas. I felt like this was a honest, let me just tell you what's going on, video about Trisha Paytas. And so basically, if you haven't seen it yet, go watch it. I don't want to ruin it for anybody. But she sits down on the kitchen floor, and I think like this is funny, and like maybe this is just because I know this because I asked her one time, but she sits on the kitchen floor not always just to have these high dramatics, even though that's kind of like the meme at this point. But like, that's an easy place for her to film too. So she just like puts it up there and then films, right? So not every video that she films on the kitchen floor is this highly dramatic video. But anyway, she goes in and she basically says, you know, and I have some mixed feelings about this video. So I will tell you, like, there are some things, but overall, I'm very, very hopeful for her. Stop bothering me while I'm filming videos. Not Trisha. So anyway, oh, my flashlight just went on. This little light of mine, I'm gonna make it shine. Okay, so anyway, but I was so excited watching this video. This is, I don't edit, okay, get over it. But anyway, so I watched this video and she goes in and she basically says, you know, like, hey, listen, I haven't posted a video for a while. She just posted a music video 2 days ago. And this is my job and I want to come back and I want to make videos and I need to make videos and I need to do sponsored videos. I do think that what she was saying there is, because I kind of like watched that part back, is I think she was saying like outside of like the music videos and the videos that I posted that I deleted, because she did post those, right? That I have not posted just like a regular Trisha video or a sponsored video and all this kind of stuff. And then she goes in there and talks about how YouTube is her job and she has brand sponsorships that she has to do things with and all this kind of stuff. It was interesting when I was listening to that part. I was like, you know, I hope that Trisha isn't really conflicted because she's always been somebody that I know that has just absolutely loved doing YouTube. And that comes out in the video. And I'll tell you why in a second, but I really hope that this isn't for her like a confliction, and I don't believe it is because I think that she has, you know, several sources of income. But I was like, I hope that this isn't just for her feeling like she's got to sit down on camera and film videos for the brand sponsorships and things like that. Because if that's the case, number one, it's going to read on camera for her viewers. Number two, she's not going to enjoy the process. And I think that anything that you're doing creatively, you should enjoy the journey. Anything in life, you should enjoy the journey. I mean, you know, even if it's whatever your worst misery is you can think, you have to get up and you have to think to yourself, well, this is my life today. So, but I did take some notes over here, so let's get into it. The Twitter rant from last night, she goes, hi, okay, and then, you know, she says that she's just like checking, I cannot get the flashlight off right now, so screw it. But anyway, she says that she's just like checking in and she wanted to say hi and she hadn't posted a video for a while. My memoirs. Then she talks about the sponsorships and she talks about YouTube being her job on the kitchen floor and all this kind of stuff. Okay, so here's like kind of like my take from watching her. A, she seemed really, really good. Like, you know, it wasn't like the most glammed out Trisha. It didn't, I mean, you know, like she could have put a brush through her hair maybe and stuff like that. But she looked good. You know, she looked like me picking up my good Judy and going to get a fountain Coke. I mean, it just wasn't that deep. She looked like she had lost a lot of weight too. And not that that really should matter one way or the other, but I know it's an issue for her. Did anybody else notice that? That it looked like she was skinny legend all the way, didn't it? I wish I looked like that. Okay. So anyway, and then she went in there and she talked a lot about self-reflecting. And she actually said that she was going back. This is my next part of my notes. But she talked about how she had started therapy again. And, you know, I loved that part of it. Like, I think that's great, you know, and I talk about going to therapy a lot, and I think that it can be helpful for anybody. I don't even think you have to have, you know, mass post-trauma like she talks about in there, or past trauma. And, you know, and then she goes in and talks a lot about self-reflection, and she talks about how self-reflection can be difficult sometimes. And I think that's absolutely true, you know. This past 6 months to a year for me has been a period where I've done a lot of self-reflection. You know, I've done a lot of inventory. I've been sober since I was 22 for 24 years. I've done a lot of inventory in the last 6 months of my life, my choices, my behaviors of the past, and who I want to be going forward. That's difficult sometimes, to look at those dark parts of yourself that are not pretty and say, okay, this is who I was at a certain time. Who do I want to be today? And I think she's really going through that. And you know, a lot of that is called growing up. And we all have parts of us inside that grow up at different ages. You know, we don't just all of us grow up at 18 years old. I mean, some of us grow up over, you know, many different periods of our, you know, lives. So I think we're going to see, I think at the end of it, she says something like, this is Trisha 20.19 or something like that. She said something about like 2019. And I was like, this is going to be interesting to see Trisha going forward. But I think sometimes when you're on YouTube for a long time, you kind of forget who you were. And, you know, like I'll watch somebody for a long time. I don't know if anybody else relates to this, but I'll watch somebody for a long time and I love their content, and then they like get to a certain point, their content, their videos, I love their videos, you know. I think there's only, I know people hate me when I say this. I think there's only a few YouTubers out there that have the right to use the word content. No offense, okay? The rest of us out there, we're just making videos. We're just dudes with cameras, dudettes with cameras. We're just making videos, okay? But, you know, like when you watch like somebody's videos for a long period of time and, you know, like you really like who they are and what they are, and you come there because that's what you like. Now, to try something experimental, to try something new is great. To go in a completely different direction than what your audience wants is gonna hurt your channel. And to some degree, that's what she's done, right? Like, what I signed up for Trisha back in the day was the favorites videos and the hauls and the driving around in her G-Wagon and going places and the vlogging and the mukbangs and all that kind of stuff. And her kind of like saying, screw it, I'm going to live my best life and I'm glamorous and this is, I've always wanted this and this is, and to some degree, oh God, am I going to say this and people are going to come for me? But to some degree, she was the dream. Like if you want to go, you know, to YouTube and become famous and live, you know, in Hollywood and all, you know, that's who she was. And there was something very glamorous about that. By the way, I just want to say, I said in my conspiracy video with Shane Dawson that I had heard on Lucas and Jacob Cruikshank's podcast about Candy Barr, the very first porn star ever, and that they were looking at these pictures of her, like her face, and they said, oh my God, Jacob said, don't you think she's Trisha Paytas, and Trisha Paytas is a time traveler? I'm like moving over here because I'm going to show the pictures. But somebody sent me a picture. Oh my God, honey, I can't think of her name. Oh, I'm so sorry. But anyway, she sent me here. I'll look it up really quick while I'm talking about it because I want to give her a little shout out. But she sent me a picture of them side by side on Instagram. And I have to say, you guys, like, I'm going to post it right here. Trisha Paytas is a time traveler of the world, okay? This is for a honey doll. Hey, honey. And she has a YouTube channel, and I'll link her YouTube channel below. I don't know anything about her YouTube channel, but go check it out. And she put these pictures on top of each other. So I'm going to put them side by side. You guys, Trisha Paytas is a time traveler of the world. Okay. So anyway, thank you, Jacob and Lucas Cruikshank, for bringing that to my attention, because I am now obsessed with that time traveler case. So anyway, I think that the self-reflection that she's doing is fantastic. You know, I'm really excited to see the next wave of who Trisha is. I think the thing is, if you go in and you read the comments in Trisha's videos, underneath her videos, the people that really like Trisha and the people that relate to Trisha, okay, they relate to a lot of the problems that she's gone through or the hard times that she's had. if she would take that and turn that into a channel where she talked about getting healthy from all of that and going back to finding who she really is deep down inside, so many more people would sign up for the ride of Trisha Paytas. They would love it because they would say, oh my God, this is relatable and I want to get healthy. She could be the Pied Piper of, you know, like getting better and having your dreams come true because she's already had a lot of her dreams come true, you know? So I'm hoping the best for her and I'm rooting for her. I really am rooting for her. And I think all of that, when she talks about that, and she seemed so healthy in this video, didn't she? I think all of that is relatable. One thing that was interesting to me in the whole video is that she didn't address anything to do with Jason Nash whatsoever. I do believe she's kind of wanting to stay away from that right now. I'm sure there's stuff going on behind the scenes. When she's ready to talk about it, I'm sure she will. You know, in the past, I think we learn, you know, it's like when you know better, you do better. I think Trisha has learned over time that maybe always showing everything on video isn't the best. So maybe she's kind of waiting to see what happens with all of that and then come out and talk about it. You know, I mean, we can't fault people for trying to, like, you have to fall down to get back up, right? You have, like, life is about making mistakes and learning from it. She is learning as she's lived on YouTube, you know, to like, we shouldn't expect that the first time she goes through a relationship, or the 20th, on YouTube for her to know like how to handle it. I just wish she would learn to not always share that stuff. She doesn't have to share that stuff. You know, she can keep some of that stuff private. She can keep a lot of it private, you know? And I don't even think people want to know that much about it. I don't think people really even care that much about it. Okay, wait. Let's see what else I had to say. I said she hadn't posted videos in weeks and she just had a trending music video. Girl, okay? I ain't got no trending videos up there and I post videos every day. This is my second video today, no trending video. Nobody signed up for this. No, I'm joking. Anyway, okay. And then she said in there, this I loved, right? She said in there that she had thought a lot about stopping YouTube, possibly, okay? Now, this is really important. She said she had thought about stopping YouTube, and that when that thought went through her head, it was a relief to her. But then she realized she could go forward. And I think that's so interesting. You know, I am somebody in my life, and I do a lot of this work with my sponsor in recovery, but I pro-con any situation. You know, I look at the pros, I look at the cons in the situation, and I think to myself, okay, worst case scenario, best case scenario, right? And then like, if I'm going through something and I think I just can't do this anymore, I imagine what my life would be like without it. Her saying that she received relief by having that thought did not mean that her place is not on YouTube or that she should leave YouTube. What it did was it opened an avenue for her to realize I can leave if I want to. I'm not as confined by YouTube as I thought I was. This is not a prison for me. And I think what's going to happen if she continues to go down that path of thinking is we're going to see more creativity from her. We're going to see more of what we loved about Trisha. If you're somebody that did, than we saw back in the day. I think we're going to see more of that over time, you know? So I actually think that was really good that she went to that place, because I think sometimes we're afraid to go to places like that, you know, like with relationships ending, or what am I going to do without this person? Well, that's kind of sometimes a healthy way of thinking, like, what would it look like if this person was no longer in my life? If you can imagine yourself single and you can imagine yourself without that person, that's kind of a healthy place to be, because then what you realize is the person that you're with, you're there because you're choosing to be there. It's a choice, right? So if she continues to do YouTube, it's a choice that she's continuing to do. And that's pretty powerful. You know, we all have choices in life. That's a choice. Okay, and then... Okay, she went in this whole thing about how she feels like, and this was, she got kind of really emotional. This exact quote she said is that she believes in living, to live, love, and laugh. And I love that so much. And she said that she feels like life is passing her by. And you know, that's an interesting statement, especially as a 46-year-old YouTuber going on 47 this year, you know, who's only been around for 2 years and she's been around for 10 years. And I'm sitting there watching that. And often I think to myself, I wish I had figured all of this out a lot younger in my life, right? But YouTube didn't even exist. I think that one of the things you have to realize, and I tell myself this all the time, Trisha, where you are now, I feel like Freely from, oh my God, Freely and her banana chips from back in the day. Trisha, there's 10,000 calories in 1 teaspoon. Oh my God, those videos cracked me up back in the day. But no, I think like what you have to realize, Trisha, okay, is that wherever you're at in this journey of life is exactly where you're supposed to be, you know? And acceptance is looking at the things that have happened in the past, is happening the way that they were supposed to happen, and that we're learning from those things. You know, none of us is perfect. There is no perfect person out there. There is no perfect life out there, right? But I also think that gratitude, and this is something that, like, if I was sitting down talking to her, I'd say, okay, gal, like, let's get some gratitude, right? Like, you have an amazing life. You really, really do, okay? You know, you sit down, you make videos on YouTube, you have sponsorships, you have a beautiful apartment, you have amazing cars, maybe you don't have the love life of your dreams, but you have a lot of friends that care about you. You have a lot of people that really, they come to your channel because they're just like, you know, they love you. And I think that sometimes it's easier for us to look at the negative instead of the positive. I hope she starts, you know, turning this around and seeing things as a positive instead of a negative. She deserves it. We all deserve it, you know? And she went in there and talked a little bit about being deserving of love, which I really, really liked. I'm at the end of my notes, so you know what that means? I'm at the end of my video. But there will be more, I have a feeling. I really don't want to continue to see, like, all of this, you know, like, horrible, horrible drama around Trisha. You know, she addressed in her video that when people make comments and things, it's very, very hurtful. And I think it's interesting. You know, you can get 1,000 great comments on a video, but that one that goes for the jugular, and she says that, she goes, comments that go for the jugular. You can read 1,000, you know, comments on a video that are all, like, wonderful backpacks and ego stroking and all that kind of stuff. But the one that hits that chord is the one that hurts the most. The thing is that those are usually the people that are hiding behind a picture that's not even them, and they aren't even confident enough to stand in front of your face and tell you how they really feel. They don't know you. They only know what they see behind a camera, and they want to pass judgment on that and make assumptions about that. And to get hurt over that, Trisha, you gotta let it go. Okay, it's part of the gig. It's part of what you do. It goes along with it. That doesn't mean that it doesn't hurt. And I understand that. And, you know, I've often wondered to myself, like, how do YouTube, like, is there like some course that YouTubers take where it's like, get over the horrible comments part, you know? No, they all just make the video called Reading Hate Comments by ASMR or whatever, you know, or Reading Hate Comments Mukbang. That's what she should do. Has she done that already? She may have done that already. But anyway, I'm hoping for the best for Trisha. Let me know what you guys think. I thought this was a very normal video. This is what I hope she doesn't do, because she said she might delete it. I hope she leaves the video up. I really, really do, as a point of reference for herself. And then I hope she doesn't turn around and do some, you know, off the charts video coming for people or yelling and crying and whatever. Like, maybe those are the videos she should leave. Pick up the phone, call her counselor or therapist, call her friends, not post those videos, and allow her subscribers to see her trying to get healthy for a while to get reinvested in Trisha. Because I did read a lot of the comments underneath this video, and they were very, very supportive. People were really rooting for her. So I'm rooting for you too, Trisha. I wish you the best. And I love you guys, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye.